What's going on, world? It's your girl Shy, and welcome back to the CheyTea podcast. Whoa, hey, we outside hot.
Outside
hot.
warm.
It.
Is it not? Okay.
Outside warm.
It is.
Oh, you know the FOS host is in the building. Who's that?
It's your girl Leonora. Back at it again.
Cheese. You want to lift up your mic?
Huh?
You want to lift up your mic so you don't have to talk down?
Sure.
Okay, all right. I don't know.
I don't know if you use them.
It's okay. It's all right. Okay. I'm already hot. I'm hot. The lights do not help. Outside is hot.
But we're not complaining.
Yeah, outside good. Outside everything good.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. You know, we're not dealing with the bipolar weather anymore, so that's fine. We should probably introduce people that are on the couch, yeah?
Alive, period.
The person that's on the couch.
Who's this hot gal? It's my big friend.
Period.
Angelica, you already know.
You already know. It's the girls with two A's in their what?
In their name.
In their name. Thank you.
Double A in the building. Ooh. Sorry.
Holy, that was... I didn't know what to do. Yeah.
Sorry. You can't really be.
No, it's okay. It's all right. All right. God is good. God is great. But it's all good. Welcome, friend. Welcome.
Hey.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for joining the CheyTea podcast. Yeah. We appreciate you. You are a listener. You have made your appearance on the YouTube channel, you know, and my vlog.
I have.
Yeah, you're in the vlog. Yeah, she was in the vlog. And then we've mentioned you on episodes of being a longtime supporter. So shout out to you. Yes. We have a very good topic for you guys today, but you know the drill. Before we get started, make sure you are following us on Instagram and on TikTok at CheyTea Podcast. We are available on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So make sure you follow us there. Leave us a 5-star review. You know what I'm saying? 5. Write a little review on how much you know we look good, we feel good, we're great. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, CheyTea Podcast. We're going to be dropping our first vlog this week. Yes, I'm already not the birthday vlog. I don't even know if that's coming out, to be honest.
At this point,
because
guys, just forget about the birthday vlog because
we're just going to call it like a travel vlog.
We are in May.
We're in May. My birthday was in February. Mind your business. So yeah, we'll see. But we got some big things coming up, you know. So because those are coming up, I'm going to be using that time to vlog and show you guys how I cast and how I choreograph and how I do all that jazz. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so the vlogs are going to be coming. So you got to make sure you're subscribed. That was the whole point. Subscribe, hit that bell button, turn on the notification button, all of them thing there. And yeah, we're here, period.
We're here.
So everybody vibrating high, eh?
Hello, friends.
We're vibrating high?
What that mean?
High vibes. Good vibrations, right? I actually don't know. I just guessed.
What?
I thought that was like the volume of the mic. I'm like,
She said,
I think we're good.
She said, what that mean? It's too hot for you to be doing this right now.
I'm sorry. Is it really a question? The vibes are good?
Yeah, like you're vibrating high. Your spirits are high.
Emma bless. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, next time I'm just going to ask you, how are you guys? That's what
We're good.
Okay,
We're
that's
No,
good.
but no, me no, so you can't ask again.
She knows now.
Okay,
She knows
so
now.
you vibrating.
Yeah, I know now. Also, thank you guys for thinking that I'm so funny on our reel that we post on Instagram. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, the clip from our previous episode.
Yes, that you guys should watch.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, make sure you watch.
Yes.
But yes. Okay, we got to get this thing going because we have a busy day today, but we have a great topic, and I just thought it should be something, you know, that we discuss. We have, I would say, a very much of a new generation dancer, a new gen, you know, in the building here today, Angelica, and I just wanted to like have some discussions just about, you know, what inspires, what aspires you, how you grow into the industry, how you grew into the industry, where you got started. So, you know, introduce people to them, let you know who you are and all them things there.
Yeah, so as she said before, my name is Angelica. I am a dancer and choreographer. Where do I say I'm from? Can I say Brampton? Because every time people say you're from Brampton, look at you like...
No. She can be from Brampton. Be from Brampton. Yeah, be from Brampton.
From Brampton, okay? But, you know, I travel down to Toronto every now and then. But yeah, I'm a upcoming. I wouldn't consider myself a professional dancer just yet because I'm still working on myself, and I still want to do a whole bunch of other stuff. Getting a lot of opportunities from Miss Cheyenne Shante. Okay, thanks to Aaliyah for introducing me.
No
You
problem.
already know what it is.
And I'm currently teaching, which I've been teaching for a long time since I was a kid, but I'm still figuring that out, bettering myself, learning from new people, and working on myself.
That's good. I like how you said that that you don't consider yourself a professional.
No.
Not that you shouldn't be a professional, because to me, in my eyes, like you are a professional. But I like that, like you said that, because not a lot of people know that, like, there's like steps that you have to take in order for you to get somewhere.
Even in my bio, I've never put professional dancer, and I see professional dancer in a lot of people's bios, and I don't even know who they are, or like I look at their stuff and they haven't done a lot of stuff. But I think professional is a very like powerful word. You have to back up what you're saying. And yes, I've done stuff to back it up, but I think I could do more that could get me to that level, which right now I don't feel like I'm of that status yet.
When did you start dancing?
I started dancing when I was 8, which for some people it's pretty late, but I didn't want to do it at first. My mom put me in the class and I was like, ooh, I do not want to do this. And then I kept on taking it and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. Yeah, I really liked it after that.
You started training in like ballet, hip hop?
I did hip hop first, and then after that I did acro. Ballet I didn't do a lot of, which I kind of regret because ballet is like a foundational thing that you should always do. But I did all styles. I did musical theater, hip hop, what else? Ballet.
Did you do tap?
I never did tap. Tap was the one thing that I never did, which I kind of regret because it's like you've done all the styles and that's the one thing I didn't do. But yeah, I grew up in a comp studio, so I grew up dancing there.
Tap is
hard.
Is one of it's hard. Tap is not an easy it's not an easy skill when it comes to dance. But tap takes a lot of like musicality and patience
and discipline.
Yeah, and discipline, because it's like you have to like create you have to create sounds with your feet rather than like you dancing on a beat, like grooving to a beat. I have to like make the sounds like that with my feet. Like that's nuts when you think about it.
And like you have to like use your face like when you're and it's like trying to do both.
And it's sad because I feel like now it's like a form of dance that's kind of like dying in a way, because I don't see it as often. Like I just came back from a competition and I didn't see that much tap. And the tap that I did see, it was very like basic. And I don't know tap myself, but the moves that I was seeing were very basic. It was just like 1 or 2 tap numbers.
Yeah. Tap is it's because it's harder. I don't know. To me, tap has always been, I have a love-hate relationship with tap.
You were always good at tap though.
I wasn't always good.
Yeah. You were competitive in tap, so that means you were good.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So was I, but I wasn't like I was competitive in tap too, but like, it wasn't as like Cheyenne was tapping.
No, because like I didn't really have a choice. So,
but she was tapping for the girls.
I liked tap. Tap was not my strongest, but I liked tap because it was just like, it was an opportunity for me to just like get better with my musicality and like hearing different instruments and like understanding different textures of beats and layerings and 8 counts and 16 counts and all that. So like that, I see the importance of it now. I see why like I had to do it for
so
like.
It helped you not just in tap but in other genres.
Yeah, it helped me with everything else because I couldn't. When it came to like counting music and like somebody would be like, "What's the count on this?" I'd be like, "Oh, and a 5." And then like, and then it's like, now it's like, I see why it's important. I still don't count to this day, but, it's good. Like, cause when I was younger, like I knew how to listen and listen for different rhythms and listen to different counts and like figuring out what the musicality was for something and being in the pocket of it before I just jumped and did anything else,
Musicality is a good thing to have.
I think tap dancers hear music differently. Like they hear a whole other, which I think is great. I'm just like, wow. And
it's important to still have,
It's
important. It's important because that's how I booked Self-Made. Shout out to me. Outside.
If you guys haven't watched that, go on Netflix. Watch it. Your girl was tapping.
Come on.
Tapping. But to your face behind your back, I've always said that like I told Aaliyah, I'm like, yo, Angelica is like,
You're
that's
welcome.
that girl.
You're welcome.
Like,
no, I'm serious, and I always say, and I say the exact words. I'm like, you are welcome.
okay, thanks.
Yep. That's my girl. I've been trying to tell you guys.
No,
like,
I don't think I thank Aaliyah enough for introducing me to Shine. Like these two, they're a power duo when they're together for sure.
Wow.
To have two sisters, one who's older who can teach another person to like, and you have this close bond. You know, it's not like you can hide certain things. Like I know I teach kids and I know my limits with them, but at least you have like that relationship with each other that you can be honest.
Yeah, we have to. Fake. They have no choice.
I mean, and like that's how we grew up.
Yeah,
that's a great bond. I always wish my older sister danced. Yeah. But
dance helped us.
And I love how there's no competition between you two.
She's the reason why I do dance.
You're a great supporter.
Thanks.
No, because both great supporters. Like you support each other.
She helps me do what I do, and like she's the reason why I dance anyways. Yeah. That's where I started because she was doing it. So I
see some sisters and they have like competition, but at least you two, you have like a certain bond where it's like very supportive.
Not my Jamaican household.
No,
yeah.
It's not even. Yeah, no. It's important to not be competitive with each other. Like if I get an opportunity to put my sister on something, I will. But I don't treat her like my sister when it comes to like certain, like I don't treat
like
you.
I see you when we're in class, like she, just because you're sisters doesn't mean she's going to put her to the front or like favor her in a certain way.
No. Aaliyah knows.
You'll catch that they're sisters from little comments, but it's like that's regular.
From when Shan did Honey, I made it too. From once I saw her big name, I was like, yep, that's me. Turn. That's me too. What do you mean? When she makes it, I make it too.
When you see her, you see me. When you see me, you see her.
No, period. That's what they are. That's literally what it is.
No, yeah. And that's what's important because I still, even though you're my sister, that's like something I do like want to say. Like, yeah, she's my sister and yes, I will book her for certain things like here and there, but like she has to earn it. I have to submit her just like I submit everybody else. I have to show her resume. I have to show all these things. Like she goes through the submission process the same way. I'll tell my sister, I'll be like, yo, you need to email me. Like she already knows. Like Aaliyah knows that like that's something that
submit the same way you guys all do.
Yeah.
Just because you know somebody and like we're related, but that goes with everything. Just because I know like a certain choreographer, they asked me to do something, I still have to follow said steps for things because that just doesn't mean that just because you know somebody, it's automatically yours.
Yo, say that again, please. Say it again. Say that.
Just because you know somebody, that does not mean it's automatically yours.
Not me putting my ear to the mic like I'm listening to the podcast to my.
No, you have to put your say it again because that just struck a nerve before we get started talking. I was doing something. I was looking for dancers and someone was like, what did they say to me? They're like, if you need me, holla or something like that.
Like no,
and I was just like.
I put the steps of how you need to apply. What makes you any different?
You know what I'm saying? I was like, girl.
Oh my God.
I'm like, did you see how you submit?
Like, now granted, you're probably talented, but like,
no, extremely talented.
Yeah,
that's like so unprofessional.
Yeah, so, if you need me, if you need me, you know where to find me. If I need you, I know where to find you, bitch. Yeah. Where?
The same way you find yourself in my DMs is the same way you can find yourself and apply.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Go and submit the way you're supposed to submit. Some people don't know how to follow instruction. More on headshot and more on dance reel. Some people are like, oh, it's like, it doesn't have to be a dance reel. It just be like a dance clip. Buddy, anything of you dancing where I can see. Well, like, I don't have this, but I have this. Or I don't have a headshot, but I have this. I have this. Yo, just send me a picture. Like, submit what you have.
Exactly.
And then saying, thank you.
Here's what I have.
This is good enough or whatever the case may be, but here's what I have. And submit and call it a
and
day.
Call it George.
And then if you hear it back from them, then you know that whatever you provided was good enough. If you don't hear nothing, probably wasn't good enough. But that means note yourself and make sure that you apply properly because
and then you know for next time. Okay,
submission
for next
etiquette,
time I have to have this ready in my back pocket, so I'm able
so
to
that you know.
provide it when
We need to have like a 101 class.
Oh, we just make sure whatever you're doing, you're presenting the look. So if it's a hip hop audition, make sure your headshot looks like you're a hip hop dancer. If it's heels, you need to have like the etiquette. You're selling the look for whatever you're submitting for.
I never thought about that. I always just thought about your face.
No, you got to sell whatever it is that you're applying for.
Wow.
Yeah, it's what you're looking.
It makes you stand up. It makes you stand up more, so you know what you're applying for.
Yeah.
So like she's listening. So
that's just the little gems, but those are going to be things you would learn. So just look out for it. You have to follow us on CheyTea Podcast Instagram to make sure you can keep up to date with the thing then, because we will be announcing that very soon. Period. But let's move on and let's move forward, because we've been talking.
No, this is good.
But they need to look at intro.
Okay, so dance companies, dance studios. We've had the discussion here on the CheyTea Podcast of being the only black person of color, the only person with sauce, like
seasoning
with the seasoning in your environment of dance. So what's the number one misconception that people have of you, Angelica?
How I look or how I dance? Just
both.
In general?
Both.
Yeah, like what do people like?
Or maybe make it more general. Like, what's the first?
It depends on the environment I'm in. I noticed growing up in comp, a lot of the assumptions were, she only does hip hop. She can only teach that genre. Mm-hmm. So when it came to me dancing, they would only watch me in that genre. And then when I took other classes, they'd be like, oh my God, she's actually good at that one too. But they would still refer me back to like hip hop. And when it came to giving me classes to teach, they would only give me hip hop classes. I would get 1-2 ballet classes, recital. I only got 1 hip hop class, and I was like begging for a contemporary class. Mm-hmm. So it's like that. It was always that assumption. And then this year, I finally got the opportunity from another studio. It's a new studio I'm teaching at. They gave me a contemporary piece, and this one's doing like really well. Everyone's like, "Wow, your choreo is amazing!" And it's like, because initially I love hip hop. Yes, that's like the one that I'm strong in, but I feel I thrive more personally in contemporary, and that's the one that I like. Mm-hmm.
So your misconception is that people think you're a one-trick pony.
Yeah, and that's not cool. Like, we should look at dancers, and yes, we all have our presumptions about everybody, and we're like, oh yeah, she looks like she's a comp dancer. Like, you could tell by the way she moves, or just like a ballet dancer. But we can't make those assumptions. We have to just see them do what they do and assume that I can't judge you for what you just did. You may have a whole bunch of other stuff you can do too.
So what about your looks? What do people? What's your assumption that people think?
In high school, I was known as that light skin ting, and to this day, they still call me the light skin ting. Like where I work, there's a lot of guys that come in where I work.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. And wait, that sounds like I'm a stripper. I'm not a stripper, guys. I'm not a stripper. I'm just saying that majority of the people that come in are guys. I work. It's a professional job. Thank you very much. Okay? But I've been hearing comments lately. They're like, oh, that light skin ting. And I'm like, I don't like being called that light skin ting.
So what are you? Like, what do people like? What's your background?
I'm Dominican, Guyanese, and Portuguese. So it's a little mix, but I mainly embrace my Dominican side. But mostly people assume I'm Jamaican, which mind boggles me. I'm like, really? Like, I don't even know.
They just assume that like
what I would look like.
You're black, but
yeah,
you're Afro Latina, but they just assume that like you're black Jamaican of the Caribbean.
I think it's my hair texture too, because it's not like there's curly hair, yes, but mine's more like coily and like tight curls. I don't know.
It's your look. Yeah, that's fine. That's something too. What about you, FOS?
What do people think I am?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I have no idea. I'm going to assume that everybody thinks I'm Jamaican, but I just get I'm usually the only black girl in certain environments. So, like, I think they just assume that I'm Jamaican. I've never gotten anything besides that. But, like, it is like, you're Jamaican, right? Like, they already know. And I'll be like, it's not unfortunate to say yes, because everybody knows me. I love the fact that I'm Jamaican. But it's just like, I could be something else. Like, but 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, yeah, you're Jamaican, right? I'm like, yeah. But then it's just like, I could be something else, but it's fine.
At the club, people are gonna assume you're Jamaican.
When I'm out, they all know I'm Jamaican because I don't hide it. But like when I'm at like work or whatever, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're Jamaican, right?"
Person at the front,
yep.
She's belting those songs. I'm like, "Yeah, Leah, go."
Period. So I'm a proud Jamaican, but like, yeah.
What's wrong with you guys? No, that's good. I think
you get the same assumption, probably.
Yeah, like people will either think I'm Jamaican or they'll think I'm African, but as my mother would say, we all came from Africa, so exactly. I don't take offense to it. No. But I think the number one most misconception is the fact that I'm just the hip hop teacher.
Same with Angela. Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's the same thing.
And
everybody just assumes it's the only thing you teach.
And then they don't trust you when you teach other genres. They're
they
underestimate
it again.
They underestimate it. They're like, oh, it's not gonna be as good. Or like they don't want to put. They'll give you the classes where the students are like kind of like lower level.
She's
and
like,
I'm
why have I been?
Doing?
I went through this.
And then that makes you want to prove them better even more. And you're here pushing these two. Don't get me started because I already know.
No. We're gonna start. We're gonna start all into it because let me tell you something, okay? I am a dancer. We are dancers, okay? We're dancers. I am not a hip hop dancer. I am not a tap dancer. I am not a lyrical dancer. I'm not a contemporary dancer. I'm not a jazz dancer. I am a dancer. I do it all. Here's what you need to understand. Before this generation came, there was no such thing as a hip hop solo.
There was no.
We didn't get hip hop solos. We got hip hop groups and a hip hop small group.
Yeah.
If you're lucky and if you're good at hip hop, you got a hip hop small group.
That was me.
So I got a hip hop small group back in my day when I was dancing. However, my thing, my niche, my skill was jazz.
And you had a jazz solo.
I had a jazz solo from when I was 8 years old till I was 16 years old. Straight. I had jazz solos. So when now I'm putting myself out there to teach, like, yeah, I don't want to take away like my style, like when it comes to, or my sauce when it comes to hip hop, or my love for hip hop. My love for hip hop will always be there. But I loved jazz and I still love jazz. Like I still have that connection with jazz. I like creating pieces. I like, I like technique. I like adding more style to jazz because I wasn't the most technical dancer.
Which one do you like choreographing for more?
Honestly,
comes easier?
What comes easier for me is jazz.
That's how I am. Like I like hip hop, but I find, and that's how you know.
Hip hop, like I can put something together, but hip hop I change often.
Hey, I think you think about it a lot.
I think about it a lot more because I'm trying to put together something that can be readable at these competitions.
And you have to tell a story so that they understand.
Yeah, like I like to have like a theme. I like to have a story, and then like with jazz, I don't know. I connect to it more when it comes to it's more of a feeling. So I can choreograph to jazz better than I can to hip hop. Now both my stuff slap, but I'm just saying, like, so when it comes to that, and when it like comes to working at these different studios, and I try to get that opportunity to spread my wings and like try in different styles, I'm being restricted, and it's like you're just like the hip hop teacher, and then the lack of respect and discipline when it comes to hip hop, because hip hop is supposed to be fun and just to do a fun combo with them.
No,
that's not what that is.
That's not what it is.
There's discipline behind hip hop. There's technique behind hip hop.
Oh my God. And now with hip hop, I find it's more like they think a lot of the stuff is coming from like TikTok.
Yep.
I was going to these things and I'm like, half of these moves don't even, like went to a competition and half of these moves aren't even blending together. Like they're doing stuff they don't even know how to do properly. And I'm like,
and like these TikTok moves are actual moves that they're just renaming that are already hip hop.
They're all hip hop grooves. They're hip hop grooves. It's hip hop grooves. It's you're doing a Bart Simpson. You're doing a Fila. Like you're doing all of these things.
And there's names to them too. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
To have the students know what they're learning. Like me personally, if I don't know what a move is called, I won't teach it to my students until I know. Yeah. Or if I'm not confident in it.
And that's frustrating because it's like, we just want something hype. We just want something like that will be energizing and energetic. And it's just like, that's not hip hop. No. That's not how hip hop started. Hip hop started when it came to poetry, putting words together, telling a story. Everything was telling a story. People would rap about their upbringing. People would rap about their lifestyle. People would rap about their hustle. People would rap about their upbringing. People would rap about their struggles that they go through with different things. Like, are you listening to the words? Like, are you actually doing that, or are you you know what I mean?
It's just trendy.
And it's trendy.
Yeah, to please the crowd.
Yeah.
That's not what it's
and then how do you expect me to want to teach kids who don't want to be there?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's the number one struggle for me. If I see that that you don't want to learn, like, I'd rather just not teach you. Like, get out the class.
Why are you here?
Half these kids, they come in, it's like their parents are forcing them. Like, I'm not going to motivate. I'm not going to do these steps. I tell these kids all the time. I'm like, I'm not going on stage with you. You have to want to do it yourself for it to look good. And it shows when a student wants to learn, and it shows when they don't. And it's okay
if you don't like something. Like, it's okay, like, if you don't like a genre of dance, like, you can be like, this is just not for me. And it's not come to class. And it makes my life easier, and it also makes your life easier because you're not forced to be here. Yeah. And, like, when you're here and you're not enjoying it, I don't want to teach you. Because, like, I feed off of energy. Granted, I'm not a teacher, but if I was, I feed off of energy. So
you sub. You're a teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on now.
Part-time.
You are.
So, like, when I'm there and, like, if I'm subbing for my sister and, like, these kids are not interested, I'm just like, so then why are you here? Mm-hmm. And it's okay that you don't like it, but don't feed me that energy because then I don't have to be here and I don't have to waste my time and we could all just be at home doing something else.
And you know what's sad too? It's the ones that are less fortunate that are the most eager to learn. Like, I've worked with organizations that do like nonprofit, and these kids come from like foster homes and stuff like this, and I'm teaching them, and I feel like they want to learn. They're not getting them perfect, but that's okay. Like, they want to learn. They're trying their best. And then I go to these other studios, and I'm like they're too privileged that they don't understand how lucky they are.
Entitled.
Yep. Coming from quarantine, these kids are complaining. They're in a full studio, bigger than my room. I was dancing in my room. My bed's right here. I'm dancing in this small space, looks like my bathroom. And I'm teaching them on Zoom. And they're here complaining in a big studio with a mirror, lights. They're saying, I have no space. And I stopped the music and I looked at them. I'm like, why are you complaining? Like, you guys sound ridiculous. Look how much space you have. Look how much space you have. If you don't have space, like, just move. Like, the opportunity that you have to move is such a
back
blessing.
To, like, how I grew up dancing and, like, how, like, for example, like, your generation, like, it's just different. And it's, like, I couldn't complain and do those things back in the day. Like, back in the day, my mom told me a story when I was little that my ballet teacher asked my mom if I knew that she paid for my classes because I didn't care at the time. And I had to fix up. And I had to be like, it's either, my mom's like, it's either you want to be here or you don't. These kids now, it's like they get choices. And it's like, choice. I didn't have a choice.
She didn't want to come to dance.
She didn't want to come to dance today. She was sick.
She had a light headache. My foot's hurting me today, but it's like not her. It's just
so triggered.
I can't go full out. I'm like,
child, let me tell you something.
Times I would fight through my pain, over there. And then they're here complaining about a bruise that they got. That's the size of a penny. I'm
she's
like,
feeling it.
What's going on?
You okay over there, Miss Shantae? You okay?
Listen. Now just,
oh my gosh, the
let me tell you something. What I don't like is when these kids are like, oh, like, I'm not feeling well, or like I hurt myself, or I can't do this, or I can't do this in this class, but I just saw you doing like jetés down the floor right and left.
Oh my
an hour
God.
ago. And now when you come to hip hop class, your heel back is hurting you. Little girl, if you don't get
or they hear chatting with their friends making TikToks. I'm like, weren't you just saying you weren't
it wasn't something not hurting you? I'm like, yo, if you're gonna sit out for this, you're sitting out for everything for the rest of the day. I don't want to see you get up not once. Sit.
That was like when I would tell your mom that like I was too sick to go to school, and then she's like, I guess you're too sick to miss dance. You saw me at school in class.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I couldn't want to miss school and then go to dance. If I was missing school, I couldn't go to dance. Yeah. I wasn't allowed. My mom was like, you're sick? Well, then you're too sick to go to dance too.
Yeah. And dance you don't want to miss because you know if they add on that one little piece.
But we weren't allowed. We weren't allowed to miss dance. I wasn't allowed.
Really?
I think Shan missed her grade 8 graduation because we were at
I missed every graduation.
She missed everything.
I missed every graduation.
Oh, yeah, you missed everything. Yeah.
I missed every grad. I couldn't go. I couldn't go to anything fun. Couldn't go to semi-formal. Couldn't do nothing because I dance. Yep. I couldn't go outside and play with my friend. I had dance.
Couldn't go to birthday parties because we had dance.
Yeah. Was it considered a private studio? Joanne's, right?
Yeah.
Was that considered private?
No.
But we just couldn't do anything.
Maybe because my studio was like with the city of Brampton.
Yeah,
so
no,
like more
this was
like,
just
you come. But me personally, I just love dance so much.
This wasn't a you come. That you were there.
You have to be there. It's a commitment. There was discipline, and that's what lacks. And like just going back to like not wanting to be in class, it's like, yo, when you start projecting that energy onto your teacher and like making it seem like it's a teacher's fault, it's like, I don't want to have to be sitting down here questioning my job and if I'm good at my job because you are not enjoying yourself.
As like a teacher, how does that make you guys feel? And obviously you guys can answer one at a time. Like when you feel that, like how do you address that?
You dread to find like your respect. Class. You feel like you don't want to come as much, and I feel like
don't you think you should say something instead of just like trying to like suck it up and like go? Like is it kind of annoying to kind of go there
There's
knowing that they don't want to be there?
There's so much you could say. Like, at the end of the day, it's a job, right?
Yeah.
So I could say as much as I could say to the parents and to the kids, but if they don't listen, they don't listen.
So you kind of have to, like, suck it up and
it's
like,
I just have to hope for the best and hope that one day they come in and they see that I'm speaking facts. I'm looking for their well-being. Crazy. It's not just for fun.
I think at some point you're going to realize that you're not there to please them. You're there to do your job. So that's where I'm at right now. I've had the conversations where I'm just like, yo, I don't care, because I know I'm doing my job. I know I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. And I know that I shouldn't have to feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I shouldn't have to feel like I got to triple cross my T's and dot my I's to do something that I love, which is dancing. It should never feel like I'm going to work. Excuse me. Like, even though I know I'm going to do my job.
Like, this is fun.
But, like, there's a passion behind my job. Yes. So I can go to work as an accountant for 8 hours a day, leave my job, and then go teach. And that's my job. Teaching is something that I don't consider as work.
That's that's me too.
But when I go there and I feel like I'm working because I'm pulling teeth to get you to just even put effort, or even just to show up to class. And then it's like the journey that I think about, I'm like, yo, gas is $2. I gotta drive 45 minutes to an hour to come here to a room of people who sometimes act like if they're not there, then I don't get paid. And I'm just like, buddy, I'm sorry. I have an hourly rate, friends. As soon as I walk in the building, I'm getting paid.
It's expensive.
So it's like the entitlement and then the privilege that gets thrown back at me makes me not want to be there. And I'm at a point now where it's like, yo, if I'm not valued but I'm tolerated, I don't need to be anywhere where I'm just tolerated. No, you don't. I don't care. Absolutely. And the thing is with this new generation of dance is like, you can't just walk around thinking that, like, well, if I don't do this, then this can't happen.
You
or
can't
if this
be
can't.
Walking around like your ish don't stink.
It's not. Yeah, but I don't have time for that. Thing. And then on top of that, you guys got to understand that, like, I'm better than you.
It's a hand clap.
Oh my gosh, when they underestimate me.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes these kids
She's
get so
too.
fresh. No,
they
They'll
do.
come to me and be like, I was correcting one of my students on something, and this girl had such a smart mouth. She looked at me and she said, "You do it then." I was like, "Excuse me?" She said it. And she said it to me more than once. And I looked at her and I said, "You think I can't do that? I stretch." These kids came back from quarantine and they didn't even have any of their splits. But Miss Angelica could do it. She still had her back arch. She was stretching.
Wild.
She was stretching.
Never.
So I said, "Go sit down." And I did the trick for her, and she looked at me, her mouth open. I was like, "Don't ever underestimate me again. I'm your teacher. Gosh. Have respect for me."
That's crazy.
I don't
That's
like when
rude.
I don't like when you give them corrections and then they first of all, talking back was never a thing for me.
Like, I know we keep going back to the past, but like, I was never allowed to look at my dance teacher and correct her or open up my mouth and say a word.
No, that's not what you did this time. Excuse me, that's what I'm doing right now. Do it.
Listen, even if you knew they were wrong, you better
that's
just do.
That's exactly what I'm like, even when I'm wrong, do it.
Just do.
Or when I do one step and I do it the wrong way, and it's the same move.
Make me realize that I was wrong, and then we'll switch back. But just do. Don't ask.
Just do.
Oh my God.
Just do it.
It actually starts on the other side. I don't care.
Like
just do it.
To get low.
That's my point. The point is not which way it's supposed to go first. The point is you're not doing it correctly.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Get the gist.
It honestly works my nerve. And then I'm just getting triggered by this whole conversation. I remember I had a whole conversation with one of my classes. I was like, listen here, guys. No disrespect, but like, I can hear when you guys say stuff. I can hear it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't change anything because I still get to come and I still get paid regardless. Mm-hmm. I only not get paid is when I don't come there. But as soon as I walk in the door, money in my pocket. So when I go and I talk to these kids, and I was just like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. The energy that I'm feeling makes me not want to be here.
You even doing that is actually showing that you care, which most people wouldn't say a word.
They would just
go and leave.
That part.
And the fact that I'm taking the time out to explain to you what is going on and why I'm feeling this way and why the vibe is off, that means I care. And then for you to continue to do the same thing that I'm complaining about, disrespect.
No, it's disrespect. And at some point, I'm going to view it as disrespect. And that's why I have to say it.
And I'm not going to say anything
to you. And then when you don't say nothing, I told you, they got mad.
And then you're going to be like, wait a minute. And then it's like, oh, so now you want me to speak. But when I'm speaking, oh, I'm so mean.
And then when I tell you something, I'm mean. What do you mean I'm mean? Or when I'm telling you, like when I'm asking you, like, stop talking. And then you want to, like, I think some of these kids think I can't see them.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be talking while I'm teaching.
Listen.
And this goes back to the parents, too. Because there's times where I would tell my mom what my teachers would say, and they'd be like, okay, so you were doing something wrong then. Or if they saw it was invalid, then they would say something. But it's like, I think it goes back to the parents, too, because they're too laid back on some of them.
They let them get away with murder.
They hold their hands and they just let them be. And
my mom had me disciplined. She's like, I don't care if you don't want to go. You're sick. You're still going. You're sitting out. You're watching.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I know like times are different now because as soon as somebody says you have a sniffle, oh God,
okay,
But we weren't allowed. Like our parents were on us. That's the whole point. And nowadays, it's like, oh, honey, are you okay? Do you want this?
Are you sure you want to?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I know we have to adapt to the times that we're in. Yes. But let's not forget that dancing is, it's not like it's something that you earn. Like, it's something not everybody's able to do. And people who want to do this can't afford to be here. You guys do remember there's a price tag to all of this.
Yeah, it's expensive.
So when you're coming here and you're behaving a certain way, there's a kid out there who wishes they were in your position, but they can't be. So when you're coming to class getting disrespectful and not caring, just remove yourself and just don't go to class if dancing is not your thing.
But here's the thing. When you try to say that you don't want to do something because it's just not as fun anymore or those things, that's what irritates me because you try to put it back on me. I come there to do my job. I am teaching you street styles, street foundations that I'm being taught.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing those skills to here for you guys to learn. One of my students is on the next step.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she dances with the next step. And Pyro, being from Footnotes, is somebody who I train with. And she's like, yeah, like, she went and told me, she's like, yeah, like, Cheyenne taught me this and that, and, like, we do assessments, and Pyro's like, yeah, we do that too at Footnotes. And she's like, yeah, and she tells us that all the time. I never take away from where I learn, but I'm bringing you skills that I learn in industry with professionals who are booking dancers to be on this show. I'm teaching it in your class. I didn't get that like that.
So
and you're blessed to have me do this. And then you have the audacity to come and try to say, oh, it's not fun. Or because I'm giving this, I'm mean. Oh, if she yells at me for not knowing what I'm doing, that's her problem because I pay her bills. Are you nuts?
Somebody said that?
Yes.
Someone said that?
Yes.
I know they did it.
Yes. And
that's
I cannot.
So
I'm just like, are you guys sick?
I pay her.
I'm like, who? And that's why that day I'm like,
finished.
No. I'm like, yo, if I said it loud apart, I'm like, yo, if you and you were to leave, I'm still getting paid. As long as there's two people in this classroom, I'm still getting paid. So if the people who are yabbing in their mouth and saying those things, and even when you're yabbing in your mouth and you still come to my class, guess who still gets paid? You think you're a little dega money that can pay me?
You're still proving my point because you're still here.
You're still here.
You're still here. You haven't left. So obviously,
let me tell you something.
I cannot believe it. You see, listen, I know we keep talking about back in the day, but like the times are just different now. And as somebody who are in these times, how do you like? I don't know how to say this. How do you feel okay to say those things? Like, how do you feel comfortable?
Above you, it's not like regardless of dance or whatever. You should respect me the same way you respect your teachers at school. Like, do you find the respect is different between how they treat? Yeah, right? They see, like,
they
sometimes
try you.
You're cool with them just because you're cool with them.
Yep.
You're my friend.
They take advantage.
Yep,
and
they take advantage.
I am not your friend.
And then
I am still your teacher. You can look at me as your bigger sister and I'll give you advice. But
I think that's kind of what Chan kind of runs into because she is still young. And she's still in like a younger generation. She's not an older teacher, and I think that's kind of what they take advantage of too. Like she's not like
because I'm a cool person.
I'm
a friend. Listen. I like vibes.
And she understands the times.
Yeah. And I don't want to be too drill sergeant-y, but then when I start to get into that mode where like okay, like especially when it comes to like jazz and stuff, and I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, like it's been 3 weeks and you're still hopping in your double pirouette, like that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
Like when I start putting my foot down with certain things, they start looking at me sideways like.
Like you haven't always been
like she's in a bad day.
Yeah.
Or she's having a bad day. No, I'm not having a bad day. You're just doing it wrong.
And this is how I've always been.
And the more I see you doing something wrong, I'm going to correct you. And the more you're continue to do it wrong, now you're going to irritate me because you're not listening. And it's something that you should not be doing wrong.
Do we not like getting corrections anymore, guys? Like, is that a thing now?
No, I crave corrections, and I know.
Tell me when I look.
And let's say someone else gets a correction, you should be listening to that correction as well, even if it's not directed. Because
that could be you.
They
just didn't notice.
But they complain when you don't, because when I stopped giving, I told you, when I stopped giving correction to these kids, they got upset. So I'm like, so what do you guys want?
When I give you it, you don't want to listen to it and apply it and practice that correction so that I don't say it again. Or come to me one-on-one and say, hey, do you mind working with me at least 5 minutes after class to go over what you just corrected me on because I'm not getting it.
They don't.
But I think this discipline that I've gotten in like the competitive world from back in the day has helped me now in like my adult years in like the industry wise. Because I feel like if I didn't have that discipline, I don't think I would be where I'm at now.
No.
And I think it's definitely helped in a way, especially like when it comes to my strength and just knowing how to carry myself in any surroundings, in any classroom, whether that's a competitive class or an industry class. Like I learned how to carry myself as a dancer, and it's opened me to different styles and different people. Yeah. And it's like what Chan is teaching her kids, like, this is useful for you. If this is where you see your future. If you don't see your future in dance, that's fine. But don't take it away from the other kids who are in the room who do see a future.
Who want to learn and who want to be there.
Because this is beneficial for you. Not just dance, but in life. Yeah. Because like Toya said when she was sitting here, you can't always get everything that you want.
No.
But
it all comes down to how much you want it.
Exactly.
And me growing up, I knew I wanted to dance. I knew I wanted to be somebody and have my name out there and do what I love. This is what I love doing. It's my passion. It's how I express myself. And I had a tie to it. That's why I would take these corrections. I would work as hard as I do. But when you don't have that passion for it, obviously, you're not going to want to take these corrections. You're not going to care to.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine, but, like, don't waste... Moral of the story, kids, don't waste people's time.
But don't waste my time. Don't waste your parents' money.
I don't know, man. It's a.
Dance is so expensive now.
Listen, you guys are great as choreographers and teachers. You guys are great.
That's the struggles that we face. But there's other struggles that we face, not just as teachers, but as dancers. I found it more as I got into the industry, just being that, like we were talking about, what I mentioned earlier, just being the only person. I grew up in dance that way as well, like having to be the black girl, that black kid. And, and like when the moments of me having to be black and hokey pokey and snap my neck and give you all the attitude, it was needed there. But then the times where it needed to be, you didn't need this, but you needed this, or you needed this, or you needed this, or you needed this, I was not good enough.
And she did the look.
You know what I'm saying? That's a contempt look. I wasn't.
Like God's calling you.
I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good to be that. So now that like I walk into the industry, I find that in certain areas when it comes to like company training and things like that, that misconception of being the only black girl or being that black girl or show us this because this is what you're good at, or twerk this way because Cheyenne loves twerking and all these things, like that misconception has kind of ran with me to the point where I had to like step back and look at these folks and be like, what do you
but you can't do it like me.
But that's the point, and I know you can't do it like me, but why use me when it comes to certain things? But then when you want to use, the 5 girls to promote your class or to promote the combination to put on your Instagram page, it's the 5 white girls and then the one kind of ish black girl.
While they're dancing to the black song. Let's talk about it. No, but it's true.
Facts.
You pick the 5 white girls and you're dancing to the black song.
Facts.
So please tell me. ? Hello? But when I'm here and we're around, and especially the girls that, like, if I've been training with you for so long, don't you think I know what I'm doing?
Being loyal to someone and being loyal to their company. And then you are somebody who also gets opportunities here and there. I know you don't want to, like, show favoritism or show somebody, like, whoever. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to book or hire somebody based on their skill and their strength and their talent, which is great. But when I know somebody is sticking with me and has been loyal and has been training and been taking class and stays extra and does this and does that and is also teaching the girls that were not there choreography for a performance, a piece for a company show or whatever, and then you pick the person that they taught over the person that taught them.
That's a slap in the face.
That is a thump in your face.
That's a thump in your face.
And that is exactly...
You took a loyal person...
for granted.
Yes.
So what was the point of using me then? If you were just going to use somebody else?
And that's the point. And I'm seeing that pattern when it comes to like some of my black friends, my black women who are in these companies, some of these companies. And I'm just like, why are you still there?
But you can't, it's a good question, but you can't fight for other people. They want to stay there and that's the treatment that they like getting treated. That's their choice at the end of the day. Because if you see it too and you acknowledge it and you're accepting it, that becomes a you problem now. Because if it's very obvious to you and you know that that's what's going on, but you choose to stay there.
As much as you're used to how that person operates and how they move and going to those classes, you have to value yourself at the end of the day.
But some people will stay because they're comfortable, but it's like...
Or they'll stay because they think that something is going to come out of it. Like,
so they're waiting for that.
They're waiting for that moment. Yeah. What are you waiting for?
So
the moment for you to be posted on their Instagram and then have the artist repost it on their page? That's your moment. You can do it yourself. What moment are you waiting for you to be able to be booked for something, but then they come back to you and be like, well, you didn't have the look? What is the look? What does that mean?
There is no look.
There is no look. This is what the look is. Let me tell you what the look is. The look is this. We need one black girl. Rest. Make it the white girls that can flip their hair.
Yeah. And then you get the one who could pass.
Or the one that could pass as a white girl or a black girl.
No, it's true.
And not to put you on the spot, but that's what's facts.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's what it is.
They'll see you and they'll be like, perfect.
Like right now, this look that you have, they will consider you as a black girl.
Yeah.
Take away the edges and the swoop whoops.
And you straighten your hair.
Straighten your hair with a nice ponytail.
Yep.
And now you're the white girl. Take off the lashes.
With a really good tan.
And you just, we'll make you a little bit, we'll make you a little bit, darker, lighter, whatever we need to do. We'll do this. And okay, here's your white girl.
Yeah.
Here's your black girl. Here's the mixed girl. Here's the girl who could come off as the white girl or come off as the black girl. Here's the girl that could play both. You're looking for a white girl with blue eyes and blonde hair? Well, she doesn't have the blue eyes, but, we can straighten this. You want to dye your hair blonde? We could dye her hair blonde, and here's your white girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's exactly what this industry is. Yep. And it makes no sense. And I'm not even... Don't get me started on these agencies because we're not going to have that talk yet until our big friend is coming here.
Yeah, big friend.
But
we'll save that for another conversation.
But when it comes to the training programs, that's what I don't understand. Like, that's the part I just don't get.
But a lot of these training programs, and that's no disrespect to them, are led by people who don't look like you, Mira, Angelica.
People who are white.
And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. Get your bag.
What do you mean? My mentor was white.
Yeah.
My mentor is white.
But she understood.
But she was in tune with the culture. Yeah. And she understood. And she knew right from wrong, and even back in the day.
She knew how to use you and use your strengths.
Yes.
She didn't make you into somebody else.
Yes.
She took you, hence why she was always your solo
She accepted
teacher.
me for who I am.
You are, and gave you songs that fit for you. She didn't just slap a song on you.
The God Bless a Child kid because you're the black girl that I don't know any other music for black dancers, so this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to use repetitive over and over and over again.
We're not doing that. She knew you. And that's what people are missing.
But you can't take people's money and train them and not get to know them or just have that relationship with them behind closed doors. But when it comes to like the opportunity to put these girls on a forefront to book them, you're not doing it. Like, just give me the same energy. You can't tell me, oh, I care, but oh my God, thank you so much for all of this. Thank you, love you guys, supportive, always in my classes, always doing this, always doing that, always showing up. Oh my God, thank you so much, thank you so much. But here's what we have. We have this dancer here that can do this instead. Wow. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Because why are you doing that to me?
It's stupid.
It's dumb.
It makes you question, what am I doing wrong? Tell me what I need to do.
I'm here supporting you.
If it comes down to you just don't like how I dance,
just
then you don't like how I dance, but don't hype me up and tell me,
you can't really say you don't
good.
like how I dance because I dance just like you. Because I've been training with you. Because some of these people are copy and paste.
Yeah, but so it's at that point, it's not how you dance, it's how you look.
How you look.
Because these girls dance
It's copy and paste.
Because my hair doesn't flip like how
because
yours flip, and the wind
just
doesn't
flip my
take
hair
it this way.
all this time, and I
noticed.
can
put a unit on. How you mean?
Come on,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I can do the.
But what happened to the dance without the hair whips, without the formula of start slow, walk up, whip, whip, dip,
oh my
up,
Oh gosh.
down to the ground, on my knees, back, try.
Whip.
It's the same formula that they all use for the same combination. It looks the exact same every single time. And in my head, I'm like, yo, like Alex said, the shoe, it's a shoe. It's a pump. Yep. Like you're to dance in it.
Yep.
That's all you're doing is dancing in the shoe. So why can't you do choreography? Like I got the privilege to be able to train with Tamina, and I look at Girls Club and what Girls Club was, and I see what Girls Club created, and I see the places that Girls Club took some of these dancers, and I'm like, yo, we were so privileged to be learning, and we learned like choreo. Like that was the first time I learned to dance in a pump. Like it wasn't whip, be sexy, go on the floor, crawl.
That's part of the reason I'm like, I kind of don't want to take certain heels classes. Your heel classes were the first heels class that I've ever taken. And then the other ones I'm like scared to, because I'm like, it's first of all, it's always the regulars. Mm-hmm. And half the time I don't even have my hair down to be whipping it like that. And I don't want to be. I just want to
dance.
You know what I mean? Like in your classes, I felt like, ooh, I was like finding my body. I was like, ooh, I have to have my hip placement. Mm-hmm. That's something I didn't even know. I didn't even think about that.
Remember, you're dancing in a pump, so you have to find your balance because if you pop your neck.
And I noticed technique. That because when you, like, I'm watching certain dance videos now that are heels, and I'm like, oh, like, I see them wobbling. I'm like, oh, so you're not really, like, watching your weight transfer and stuff like that. Like, your moves aren't strong. You're just worrying about your arms and your hair and the way that your head moves.
You're worrying about getting the legs on Instagram.
Or, like, looking sexy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And splitting your legs open.
But that's not what sexy is. I could be able to dance by just walking and standing still and looking at my head.
Captivating.
And that's my sexy. And that's what I was taught.
But that's how it's supposed to start. Like, I shouldn't have to bust something to the splits.
Like, there's very few videos I look at, I'm like, I want to keep watching.
Yeah.
But that's the misconception of heels. And like there's a difference between heels and burlesque. Like there's a difference between those things, and it's like I don't think people understand that. And then it's like when you continue to make a mockery of my culture by stamping these white girls to dance to black music, when you have black girls that could be dancing to this kind of music and can be doing it better and know how to properly juke their body, to properly do these, to execute the choreography. You have that, you choose not to use it, and I want to know why.
And it's not to say that the white girls can't do it.
No, they can.
You can do it.
They can.
But with certain things, sometimes
it hits different.
It hits different.
Yep. It hits different.
When you compare
the same way a hairstyle hits different on a different person.
What? One more time.
I'm sorry.
Like one more time, because
like I could have.
Now I'm getting hot.
You know what I mean?
Like it's just certain things are just not meant for certain people for you, and it's okay. Mm-hmm. And even myself, sometimes I don't do certain things because I know it's not meant for me. Mm-hmm. You let other people do it, but like you don't have to. Don't dance to my music, but then don't use me.
Yeah.
But every single time you put on a choreo, whether it's hip hop, heels, jazz, funk, whatever, it's to somebody black, but you're not using me.
But that was like when I called out that girl 2 years ago who was. Y'all all know who I'm talking about, and I'm gonna. Anyways.
I don't, but hey.
Oh well, I can bleep things out, but Monica Gold.
Oh yes.
She is a dancer from Toronto, and she trained with Girls Club, and she got trained by a black woman. A black woman taught her everything she knows when it comes to dance, and it was like when everything was happening with the BLM and and like just pushing for things. And I was noticing she had a big platform, and she wasn't saying a word. But she's dancing to Beyonce. She's promoting. She was promoting Beyonce heels, Beyonce class. She's dancing and singing and giving it
and she's fierce
and she's giving the find your fierce and find this and all these things. And I'm just like,
I remember going on her page and seeing like comments that were like,
yeah, because I called her out, and then instead of having a conversation with me, she blocked me. And I was like,
she was either embarrassed or.
And you want to know what? Like, I never actually publicly spoke about this until now, and I'm going to because it's my platform and I can. But till then, since I had this conversation with her, because I tried to take the high road, I called her out. I made sure I did. I at her, and everybody knew. Because why? I felt like in this moment, it was a teachable moment, and you weren't about to just slap me in my face and shut me up when I didn't even come to you sideways. I was nice, and I'm like, yo, how come you're not saying anything but you're promoting a hip-hop heels class? How come you're not saying anything but you're promoting a Beyonce heels class? All black people. And right now, black people are facing injustice, and we're going to continue because 2-3 years later, we're still in the same place. But we're facing all these things, and instead of you using your platform to open up your mouth, you're using your platform instead to promote other things that involve black people.
Yep.
So when I call you out on it, you block me. And her excuse was, I didn't know how to respond to you. So instead of you not knowing how to respond to me, you wanted to shut me up.
Yeah.
So she blocked me, and I caught it. And because I caught it, because I checked to see if she read the message, and I came back, and then when I went to go check again, her messages were gone. And then it said Instagram user, and then when I looked and I clicked, it said no post, and I saw I was blocked. So I was like, oh, okay. Screenshot. I kept everything, and I posted it out there. And it wasn't to humiliate her, but you humiliated me when you thought you could shut me up instead of responding to me. And then I have a conversation with you behind closed doors, and I take the higher road, and I educate you, and you tell yourself for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to educate myself, blacklivesmattercards.ca, go and do this, go and do this, go and do that. Ask me if since then she has peaked to even talk about anything. But when she want to talk about the injustice that the Israel was facing at the time and Jewish people were facing and all that stuff, yeah, she want to open up our mouth and post and talk. But you use my culture to promote and make money and get people to come to your dance classes, and a black woman taught you how to walk and move in your heel boot, and you're still this day have not said one thing, and I still see some of you that still mess with that girl. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Picnic, congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. I just hope that child doesn't grow up like you.
Facts.
I hope that child is in tune and make sure she looks at people and loves people for who they are and not what they look like.
Yep.
I hope that child does not try to manipulate off of the black culture.
It's just annoying. Like, stop trying to benefit from our culture if you're just not going to be there. Like,
exactly.
Dance to the white songs.
Exactly.
Dance to that.
But even the people who are white, and again, it's not just about race, but there's even white women who big up and speak and say, if it wasn't for the black culture, I wouldn't be where I am today.
It's not about race, but it is at the end of the day, because you're using my ish to do your thing. You're doing it. There's no given point whenever you're dancing, the twerking and the shaking of the all of that. Who do you think was doing it?
What is ratchet?
What is ratchet? Because when you say ratchet, what is urban? What's urban? What's this urban choreography? What is this? What is that? Since you want to talk about it, since we're getting here, friends, let's get there.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to when it comes to that, and when it comes to the ratchet, let me tell you something. Some of you guys need to read up and know what ratchet is, because when I was a part,
like a cutlass, isn't it like a knife?
That's a tool, no?
Like
that's
that's
a ratchet.
No. Ratchet. No. You're right.
You're on the right.
Ratchet. Here, let's have a moment.
Because I feel like the words are a little similar, so I could be wrong. I know a cutlass is a knife, and I saw a ratchet was maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Let's let Shan do the Googles, before I start saying stuff that don't make sense.
A ratchet is a device consisting of a bar or wheel with a set of angled teeth in which a cog or tooth engages, allowing motion in one direction only.
See it there?
And there's a slang for ratchet. So in the Urban Dictionary, it defines as someone who embodies ratchetness, one who is dirty, low class, no moral values, and places themselves in a situation of being known in a negative way. So I want you to listen to that. They place themselves in a situation of being known in a negative way. Now, we used to call ourselves Ratchet Rangers. There's the original Ratchet Rangers, okay? That's me, Aaron Acuna, Okuno. Do I have to borrow this government name? Let me go back. Me, Erin, Tanaya, Amanda, Ocean, Jande, and I want to say Jasmine. It's a whole bunch of us. We were original Ratchet Rangers, and we put ourselves in that category because people looked at us in a negative way, but we wanted to turn it into a powerful way. So that's why we did the routine High Power that was choreographed by Erin.
Great. Oh my gosh.
And that was why we called ourselves the Ratchet Rangers. So the other day, well, not the other day, but a couple of years ago, I was hearing these girls call themselves Ratchet Rangers, and I was like, hold on. I'm like, first of all, no, you are not. And I remember like one of the girls who was a part of the original Ratchet Rangers was like, yo, they kept calling themselves Ratchet Ranger, and I was just looking around.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that's not you guys. And it's like Ratchet was like twerking and being ratchet. Like that's not what that's not what that is.
But you see why they attach black people to that?
Right. And then when you want us to be ratchet, that's what you promote. That's what you want me to be. But when it comes to me being classical, use a white girl. And then when you want to be ratchet, you don't have enough black girls to do it. You have the white girls who think ratchet is just Yeah. Like, that's not what it was.
That's not what it is.
That was not the early stage of that company. That's not how he founded that company. And that's when that company started to turn that way. And I was just like, you guys losing the whole meaning behind all of this and what that was for. So when you guys are calling yourselves Ratchet Rangers, I'm like, I got to remind you guys who the real Ratchet Rangers were, because that is not what we use that term for.
Yeah.
It's not about being ratchet and doing this. Like, that's not what that is, because it's starting to look like it's appropriation.
It's coming a mockery at this point.
And it's funny, and I can't take it anymore. So that's why, like, all of this stems, it comes from the dance studios. You feeling like I'm just a one-trick pony. I'm just a hip-hop teacher. Same here. You feeling like, well, I like the fact that I'm Jamaican. I like the fact that I embrace my culture. But, like, why is it just an assumption all the time? Like, why is that the first thing? And it's not a bad thing, but it's like...
No, never a bad thing, but, like, I could be something else.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, so when people start making that misconception about you with certain things like this in your place of work, and then the place where you learn from is the same misconception, you just have to look around and be like, so when and where does it end?
We've been fighting for so long, we got to continue.
Why do we have to fight?
It's going to be an ongoing
thing because it's until they understand that, like, you took us out of our comfort zone. We didn't come here. You took us out. So here we are, and we're just living. And you're complaining about it. So it's just kind of like,
oh my God,
aren't they done complaining? No, you brought me here. So what does that mean?
Listen.
No, because there's little things.
You took me out of my comfort zone and you brought me here. And you're not getting it. So it's just like, what do you want me to do? Ask yourself these questions, friends. Because you're the one who started it.
Then they get annoyed.
You know what? That's why I just say, like, this is just like, everything is like, there's a part. There's a very special guest that I cannot wait till they come here.
Oh, I'm excited.
And we're gonna have a nice conversation, and I'm gonna like really, really get in depth.
Like the intro to it.
You know, we've had a couple of we've had intros, and it's like this is just something that I felt was important to talk about. Just the companies, the places that we train. In closing of this episode, I just want those people who are training other dancers, training people, to always think about how the person feels when they're in that moment. Stop going and just using me when it's beneficial to you.
Yeah.
If you're going to train me, use me when it's beneficial for me.
Yes.
You shouldn't be focusing on your Instagram, what you're promoting. No. If you genuinely care about the work ethic, the skill training, the improvement of your dancers, you are going to devote your time to your dancers and make sure that they are being seen.
But that makes you a good person and a good mentor. And
that's what makes you a good teacher.
There we go.
There's a difference between a choreographer and a teacher, and I'm going to get into that conversation when my good friend come, because some of you don't know the difference between the two, and you need to be taught the difference, or told the difference, I should say, because it's not my job to teach you anything, but you need to know the difference. The people who pay you money to train with you should not feel like they're not being seen. I train in a room of 40 odd people. And I'm telling you, Mariano will walk every day and big up every single person by name.
Come on.
Yo, what's going on, Cheyenne? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Angelica? What's going on, Aaliyah? What's going on, Dave? What's going on? What's going on? Like every by name.
But that makes you feel
that makes you feel seen.
And that makes you know that
and they genuinely care.
And not just because I'm paying you, but like you notice that I'm here. You know when I'm, and then like if I'm not there, you know that I'm not in the room.
And you know when I'm not showing up. And you call me out when I'm not showing up.
Like, hello, hi, where you been at?
I'm not just another number. I'm not just another dollar sign to you. So some of you who have that or used to have that or do this sometimes or whatever, don't just utilize the same 5 girls to walk in the heels to promote to your tank choreography anymore. I'm tired of seeing it.
It's old. It's old.
It's old. It is old. I'm tired of seeing it. Use the other girls. Use the girls that's been showing up to. Use the black girls. Okay, you know what? I'm done.
But to end on a positive note, with all of this, who inspires you, Miss Jellybean? Oh, granted, if you guys didn't know, I call her Miss Jellybean. So sorry.
That's what my kids
Who inspires you?
Crack my back.
To dance. Like, what keeps you going with all of this that goes on in the industry? Like, what keeps you going?
My mom.
Period. Shout out Mama
My
Rosa.
mom is my biggest supporter.
I love her so much.
She will take me to Timbuktu and back. She always tells me,
Listen,
Mommy,
I'm so sorry. Listen,
I don't care
her
what.
mother will.
No,
she will.
Seriously.
She does.
She always told me, yes, I have my day job, whatever, but she always told me, Angelica, it doesn't matter. You quit that job, you go to that opportunity.
I love her
That's
mom.
why when Cheyenne hits me up about opportunities or something, I'm like, yes. And then I figure out my work stuff after, because at the end of the day, this is the one that I want to make my full time. So she's always pushing me to pursue my dreams. When I tell her something, she's interested. She sees my dances and she's just in awe. She always bigs me up if she sees that I'm not dancing as well. She's like, "Oh, you weren't feeling it today, weren't you?" Like she's my number one supporter, my number one fan. She always like genuinely she wants to come to my stuff. She does. Not many people can say that.
No.
And I look up to her so much because she's such a genuine, good person. Like everywhere, growing up in the studio, they're always like, "Oh my God, I love Mama Rosa. Like she's the best." And that's not just at my studio, but I grow up and everywhere she goes, she'll meet you for 5 seconds and you're talking to her.
Didn't she make a friend at one of our Argos games or Raptors games? She
went to one of our Argos games and she was sitting by herself and she made a connection with one guy. He was like telling her how his son passed away and this was like the anniversary of it. And she found out a whole bunch of stuff. She'll find out your whole life story. I'm like, wow, that's so inspiring.
That says something about her heart that people can just sit down.
She's a genuine person.
She really is. She's honestly like she's the sweetest lady. And then I tell you, she will do anything for her daughter. Like, and not even just like dance moms. Like, I make jokes about like dance moms being so dedicated to like no, but like it's not just dance mom. It's like I want what's best for my child. And, like even though I'm not her daughter, but like I feel the love. I'm just like, wow, I love this. Like this, you don't see it often.
To Niagara, she drove, but I took her with me and. She loved it. She just loved seeing what I could teach. And she went to me. She's like, "Don't tell me if this is your dance. Let me guess. I'm like, "That's your choreography." You see how I know? Because very hard hitting. You know?
Yeah, it's so cute.
They're really low. You can see it's different. It's not boring. I'm like,
she's so. I think you've seen her before, but she's like honestly sweetest lady, and we'll bring Angelica to Timbuktu and back.
As she should. We love the support.
Yes,
I like that though, and I like I know like just you seeing things from a different perspective because you're a younger dancer. That's why like I just thought it would be cool to have you on the episode to kind of just connect with you because you are a dance teacher, you are a choreographer, and you're still making your way and making your room for yourself as a dancer in this industry. And that's why I genuinely said like I like Angelica. I like that she shows up. I like when I call Angelica, I'll be like, "Angelica, I got this to do. I got this show. I got this."
Listen, Angelica just at 10 p.m.
I very
the night
rarely
before.
say no, and when I feel like when I really can't, then I can't.
Yeah.
But I try my best to make it to these things.
And then I respect it, and it's like, no, I can't do this, but I can do this. So that's why like the odd times when you tell me no, I don't even like. I'm like, okay, that's it's cool because Angelica is always like, she's always there. Like, she is the most dedicated. She is the most reliable dancer. So when I know I need reliable people, I call Angelica. When I know I need somebody who is gonna get it, I call Angelica.
Because I'm loyal.
That's exactly what it needs to be.
I know that my loyalty is gonna be repaid in kindness, because I'm loyal to Cheyenne and I'm loyal to Aaliyah, because I know that I saw this quote. Surround yourself with people that will say your name in a room of opportunities. And these two are the type of people that will say my name, or they'll say any person's name that they know pops into their head. They'll say it without hesitation.
Like, you might see Angelica a lot, but it's just because she's... There's
so many dancers that they won't even tell you about certain opportunities. I'm telling you. Because they're like, oh, I don't want her to make it, and then I don't make it.
Yep.
No, I'm telling everybody about you. Telling everybody. Listen, I don't care whether... Doesn't matter. You see Angelica a lot? I'm so sorry. It's because she's reliable, and there's not many people like you. And I don't have many dance friends who are like you. And I'm just like, when you see her, I'm so sorry. Like, you see her doing a lot because she's reliable. She's good at what she does.
And she's smart.
She's smart. And you can give Angelica, let me tell you something before we end this. Angelica learned one of our Argos routines in a McDonald's. She parked her car. She was driving home. And she went to the McDonald's, and she was learning the routine for our game that we had, I think, like the next day. And she was learning the routine in the McDonald's.
Dedication.
My dance kids were behind me. I was taking them back from
it's just like, guys, things like that.
Chill there for a second.
This is what gets you outside.
That's what's gonna get you booked.
And on stage with the big people them.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, friends. Be loyal friends.
Mm-hmm.
And don't always just be showing up for your friends.
Put your heart into what you do.
Yeah. And when you feel like you're being tolerated and not valued or appreciated, get up and leave.
Reevaluate your environment.
And don't take nothing for granted either.
Amen.
Because it can get tech quit in our heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I'm very happy that you came and joined us on this episode. Right? This episode was very much needed. It's going to be a nice stepping stool for, the closing episode that I really, really can't wait to get our hands into when it comes to this industry and dance.
You guys are gonna learn in that episode.
Oh, and please, you're gonna learn today, eh? You see where she came from, right?
See how she bigs up.
You see who's gonna be always behind her, right? So when you feel like you want to approach one of my dancers, one of my people, one of my associates, one of my my colleagues, just know you approach her with respect. Put some respect on her name. Don't ask her to go do nothing for free. Don't ask her to go dance to no beach and do a two-step. Stop doing that stuff. Okay?
Not beach.
Come to her correct. Because although she doesn't put herself in a professional atmosphere yet because she's humble and she's saying that she needs to work more and work harder for something so she can get to that spot, she still has she can still She can still add professional attributes to her dedicated space. Period. Her environment. So she is a professional. She knows how to behave professionally. Yep. She knows how to do things the right way because there's loyalty, respect, and passion behind her movement. So when you approach her, just know when you see her, you see me, okay? And approach her and tread lightly. And don't even try it when you see her. Come put some insert stuff with her dancing. Don't try to approach her because this is my gal, right? Yes, sir. Don't come try and sprinkle the whiteness on her. It nah go work. Sorry about it. Listen. Sorry about it. I need our t-shirt.
Just know.
I need it.
I just know I put you guys on it.
Oh, yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to Leah.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, nah, this girl, she's it. Like, as soon as I saw her, instant, I'm like, nah. And even if she didn't want to be my friend, she had no choice.
Even though she come here looking sexy, look on the outfit. Yeah, with the sexiness.
When I saw you in the office,
they're going to come looking all that.
No, I'm in a t-shirt, track pants, and my flip-flops.
But just know, Miss Jellybean is outside, and come to her correctly.
Come to her correct.
Give tongue.
Period.
And that is the episode, and that is that.
Amen. Thank you so much for joining us.
To follow you, feel free to tell them your Instagram.
Listen to these podcasts, support. Aww. These people are hustling. Like, I'm seeing this setup right now. I'm like, wow.
We try it.
Yeah, you see the setup, eh?
Don't just acknowledge it when she makes it big. You gotta support the people that are coming up. So when they make it big, you're like, wow, look at that progression.
Listen, y'all don't listen. I know she's my sister.
You see SoundCloud rappers, they're nothing right now, but they can make it to something.
Not SoundCloud.
I don't underestimate. I see these guys, it's not on beat, but hey.
It's not on beat.
The next Drake. Thank you very much.
Listen.
No.
All I'm saying is don't sleep on Miss Shantae because she's outside. I know that's my sister, but I'm going to need you guys Oh,
I'm trying, man.
I'm
trying.
We're doing our thing. Cause
we got, like how she said, the podcast setup is nice because, we don't need to go and beam low. We vibrant high over here. So, the setup is nice.
Who job bless, no man can curse.
Who job? Listen, real selector.
Can't stop a good man.
Sorry about it.
Sorry about it. Not today, tomorrow, or yesterday, or ever. Oh. Anyways, give thanks. Thanks for listening. Follow us on the CheyTea podcast, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Subscribe, comment,
man.
The notification bell. You already know.
We'll see y'all in the next episode. Have a good day.
Period.
Outside hot, it warm.
Lord, hot bread, I sweat. Sorry.
Oh my God. That was funny.